Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today I'm answering some more of your questions, such as what really constitutes a limited edition in the watch world? And also, what do I think is one of the most underrated high horology brands? All that and way more in today's episode. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Patek Philippe 5296 Calatrava sector dial on a strap made by my good friend Aaron over at Aaron Bespoke. Obviously not a paid endorsement. I get all my straps from him. I haven't worn this one in a while, and it's good to have it back on the wrist. And talking about Patek, we've gotten a lot of new cool inventory at DelrayWatch.com, including a Patek Philippe Aquanaut 5066 with its original tritium dial. These guys are still relatively affordable. And we got one of my favorite Patek Philippe references of all time, the 5146 annual calendar with that beautiful cream dial and one of the most well-proportioned watches ever made. This watch is Patek Philippe. It embodies everything that they are, and it's absolutely marvelous. And we also got an Omega Speedmaster 1989. So a normal Speedmaster, however, made in 1989. It's actually a birth year watch for me. Thought about keeping it, but can't have them all. All at DelrayWatch.com, the best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Link in the description below. Alright guys, so by now you know how this works. These are the questions you ask me. You can follow me on Instagram at Federico Talks Watches. A few times a month, a Q&A picture pops up. When you see it, ask your questions. When I have enough questions, I take that picture down. It's only up for a few minutes. Please do not DM me. I do not check them. And in no particular order, we start with Watch Is A. And he says, "Hey Fed, I'm hearing more about your admiration for Nomos." You're right, I love Nomos. Would you highly recommend it for world travel? I travel a lot and I need a watch that flies under the radar but is still fun and functional. Yes, my Nomos Tangomat GMT is the perfect travel watch. Yes, it's on the more expensive side of Nomos at about $5,000 retail. However, you get the in-house movement, highly legible dial, very easy way to switch out the time zone with the push button. I love the kind of Bauhaus styling, though it's not for everybody, but I think it's watch geeky, it's cool, doesn't necessarily break the bank, at least for me. It's quite durable, and on top of that, it flies under the radar. Nobody or very few people that are not watch geeks knows what a Nomos is, so I never feel unsafe in wearing it. It is my go-to travel watch and one of the best purchases I've made in a very long time when it comes to watches. Dr. Colivera, or Dr. Colivera, says, "Hey Fed, have you ever been to Brazil for business or vacation? If not, any plans to do so?" So actually, I'm very sad to say I have not been to Brazil for business, and I haven't been to Brazil since I was a child, where I went to Salvador de Bahia. But Brazil is very much on my travel list. I would love to go to Rio, check it out, Sao Paulo. I mean, it's such a big country that I know so little about, but I would definitely adore to go, especially since, well, it's actually a pretty long flight, but it's a lot closer than my other destinations. It's definitely on the list. I just haven't really made it happen as an adult yet. Tyler Mateos, "Hey Fed, what are your thoughts on Seiko releasing so many limited edition watches with more than 6,000 being produced? Are they really limited edition?" So what are my thoughts on Seiko releasing a lot of limited editions? I mean, I don't have much to say about that. I think it dilutes their catalog, though they are a business that I don't understand quite well. I'm not an expert in it. Their price ranges are all over the gamut. So I'm not going to comment on Seiko, but I will say 6,000 is definitely not a limited quantity. Even for a lower priced watch, I'd say it's a stretch to consider anything over 1,000 pieces an actual limited edition. And once we hit like $5,000-$6,000, I don't think anything like above 300 to 400 is a limited edition. They're very easily They're very easily gotten in most cases, watches made in those numbers. And while there are some exceptions, namely like the Jaeger sector dials, which were not limited edition, uh, technically they were limited production only for a limited amount of time, and they definitely made more than 1,000. Those are actually quite hard to get. But in 99% of cases, anything over 1,000 is not really limited, and at the 5,000 plus price point, anything above 400 is not particularly limited. Easy to get, in my opinion. Hey Fed, what's a dial color you wished you saw more often? Well, I don't know if I wish I saw more often, or at least not that much more often, but I've been really loving salmon dials. They have been more popular lately. Mont Blanc made one, Chopard made one. They're coming out more often, but it is massively undervalued. Though I don't want to see them all over the place, because I think the quirkiness is part of what makes them cool. I wouldn't complain if I saw a couple more salmon dial watches. Master Daniel Earl, I love your content. Aside from Cartier, what other jewelry brands make great watches? Well, I'm going to say LUC Chopard, but you guys know I'm going to say that because I've said it a million times. However, a jewelry brand that is massively underrated in horology is Harry Winston. They've made some extremely, and they still make some extremely complicated, high-value pieces that can be gotten for a fraction of the price. Guys, don't forget, Max Busser of MB&F used to be the CEO of Harry Winston Watches, and he started the Opus series, which is kind of their highest end, but their Project series, their Ocean series, all extremely high-end watches, a lot of either in-house movements or collaboration movements. And yes, while they have eye-watering price tags on the secondary market, you can usually find them for a fraction. People are sleeping on Harry Winston watches, and while their designs might not be for everybody, their watchmaking is top level. Trust me on that. Harry Winston, a huge sleeper, and yes, while they're known for their jewelry, their watchmaking is no slouch. In fact, it's up there with the very best of them. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.